why this craze of civil service?
So it provides a great career opportunity.
How will you be using this hobby of yours of playing football if you become an IAS, or you can say a bureaucrat?
Why you did not go for something that you have already done in your BTech?
Can you tell me what is the psychological difference between football and cricket?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Please take your seat. So, Ritesh, quickly tell us about yourself.
So my name is Ritesh Kumar. I am from Jharkhand. I have done my BTech in Electronics and Communication usually. So my hobby is mostly around football.
I play football, I watch it, and also I analyze it. And sir, after this year mains, I'm self-employed and working with different coaching institutes related to civil service examination.
And where are you based?
So currently I'm in Delhi.
Okay, but civil service examination also you are based engaged in Delhi?
Sir, it is remotely.
Remotely?
Yes.
Okay. So basically that an academy, Byju's kind of thing?
No, sir. With Vision IAS.
Okay, Vision IAS. What was the theme on the Civil Service Day this year?
It was a new area. The first is evaluation of the mains mock paper, and the second is related to mentorship.
What was the theme on the Civil Service Day this year?
Sorry, sir.
What was the theme for celebrating Civil Service Day this year?
Sir, I'm not able to recall it.
Okay, and when was the Civil Service Day?
Sir, I'm not able to recall that.
Okay, you are not able to. So, why this craze of civil service? If nobody is interested in civil servants,
nobody mentions about them. They are totally preoccupied with either politicians or judiciary. Okay. Then why civil service?
So it provides a great career opportunity, as one can work in a diverse area, one can work in different department, different ministry, and also
they may not give you that. Some people say that working in one ministry, one department is a specialization.
yes, sir. Like in few service there is a domain specialization that is there, but when it comes to the IAS, sir, there is a huge diversity, and one can learn a lot of new things and work with both state and the central.
So in the life of an IAS officer, what are the things he learns or he handles? Can you quickly, broadly place that?
So broadly, it can be categorized into areas.
The first is policy implementation, like in initial age, in district administration.
It is implementation or it is policy making?
So it is policy implementation. Like
policy implementation.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the
policy and law implementation.
Yes.
And later on, sir, when it comes to the secretariat, civil servant provide inputs and makes the policies, and also after that, whatever the recommendation the political executive is, we try to forward it to the lower
level bureaucracy.
Okay. You are from Jharkhand. You passed out from where?
So JP Institute of Information Technology.
Okay, here. Okay. Now, so you passed out from, you are basically from Jharkhand. Now, why Jharkhand is showing poor result in most of the social indicators? What is the percentage of tribals residing in Jharkhand?
So the percentage is around 26%. And I see certain two reasons why there is problem in Jharkhand. First is related to inequality, and the second is instability.
Sir, there are a lot.
But these two factors, can you also say about the whole country? Inequality is at the national level also.
Sir, in Jharkhand there are a lot of mineral resources, but extraction of those resources result in displacement of the local people, and those who are displaced are not getting the benefit, like the infrastructure facilities, the compensations. Those things are not reaching to them, resulting in deprivation. And also, so the state was facing a political stability for around 14 years.
And in recent past, the governance has improved, and I see, sir, there is a lot of improvement that is happening in Jharkhand. Here, sir, the local were working in the shops, in petrol pump, in restaurant, and now they are opening those areas. Their entrepreneurial activities are increasing in Jharkhand.
Currently, Prime Minister is visiting European countries.
Yes.
What will they need?
Sir, Europe as a whole play a very important role for our country development. As we have a huge trade with European countries, especially sir, the Germany and the France. With France, sir, we have signed defense deal, and also for the rule-based order in the Indo-Pacific region. Therefore, sir, this is
Europe has no role in Indo-Pacific. Indo-Pacific is, I mean, they are not involved in Quad or anything. So how their role comes in Indo-Pacific?
Sir, the Indo-Pacific results in a lot of trade, especially for the Indo-Pacific region. And these trades do take place, and the European countries are also participating. Apart from that, sir, we see the military hardware, especially the submarine landing trade. So for that reason, sir.
Okay, Ritesh. What is the meaning of your name?
sir, it means Lord of Season. A Lord of Season.
Okay. So season. Lot of things are happening in season, and because of this, the governance is also influenced.
Yes, I think that is because of climate change. I think and a lot of extreme events.
What are those things that in governance you are finding that is basically because of the seasons, or you can say it like that?
So it is change in the pattern of temperature and the precipitation. Like there is increase in temperature. It was recorded that March was one of the hottest year. Then comes the April, and there was a heat wave situation that is going on. And then there were flooding that happened in the Bay of Bengal area, and also the various reports suggest that there is melting of glaciers. And from one personal experience, sir, I see that there is a river very much close to my area, the Savarnarekha River.
Back then, before 10, 12 years, it was perennial. In the summer season also, the water was full. But now, sir, it is completely dry. Even in the summer season, in the winter season, one can easily cross the river.
So climate change is happening, and it is impacting the life of the people.
So as a student of public administration, the governance of a state having coastal area and having a state having a hilly area,
Yes, sir.
right? What are those means big variations in the administration, especially for a bureaucrat? You will find.
So it can be related to the disaster management.
Variations in the administration, especially for a bureaucrat.
Response and rescue work that comes under it. In such coastal area, there is also it has to coordinate with coast guards, and also IMD is there. So the that are there. So for related to environment also, sir, administration has quite difference in coastal areas and the other areas, sir.
Mostly related to disaster management, and there are coastal regulation rules that are there. So for related to environment also, sir, administration has quite difference in coastal areas and the other areas.
Okay, good. Now, if I connect it to the football too, so which state is very good for the football playing experience?
So there are lots of states like India, Bengal and Kerala.
Bengal and
Kerala.
yes. So they feel their birthright.
No, sir, not their birthright, but they dominate football in India, and especially
Fans. So the fans has a lot to say when it comes to the football. The culture of the fan, especially in the area, is in Kerala is very strong.
Okay, so which state has given most of the footballers who has performed well for nation?
So they are mostly from northeast.
What needs to buy?
Sir,
Is their body is getting more resiliency because of the season, or you can say the temperature that is there whole year, or some other thing?
so the climatic
condition is not that much related, because then Southern American countries do fantastically well. They have dominated the international scenario. So it is all about the a culture. The local players, especially
Even the village level, the youth are playing it. There are a lot of spectators that are there, and they celebrate it like a festival. There are small tournaments that are happening in the local level, and it results in mobilization of these players to the state level and at the national level, sir.
So what are those factors which can impact a football player, or you can say motivation to play football more for a youngster?
so the first is the physical strength. That is very much important.
Is having good stamina and fit enough, then automatically he can he can continue his training and improve his skills. The second is infrastructure. That is absolutely necessary when it comes to the European football. They had a very good infrastructure right from the young age. They are tapping them and providing a world class infrastructure facility. And the third is the exposure. Exposure is a very important when it comes to the football, and it provides a sense of competitiveness.
How will you be using this hobby of yours of playing football if you become an IAS, or you can say a bureaucrat? For your own self, you will be using it to keep you fit, or some other purposes can also be there?
So it is important for fitness purpose, and football provides a lot of learning lessons. The first being teamwork is a team game. And
Those teams that are winning matches have a very strong team, right?
But that is for your own self. But any other purpose it can be used for?
Yes, sir. The thing is that it always provides a sense of confidence, and one has to ensure a focus. Like while playing football, one has to be an effectiveness.
So it is benefiting you again, but is it benefiting other people also, or the department? That way you need to look at.
yes, it can benefit since focus in the administration can result in efficiency and effectiveness.
Thank you, sir.
Hi Ritesh, how are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. Thank you.
My very first question from you is that you just mentioned
you are working in coaching institute. Can you please tell me what is the role of this whole coaching industry in supporting the education sector of our country?
Ma'am, the first thing is quality education. They provide a lot of quality education and very good content through which one can improve his cognitive skills. The second is it provides a competitive advantage, as like one can write a lot of tests, one can stay focused and remain in the ecosystem. And third, ma'am, it also provides employment opportunity, as more than 20 billions that the forecast of the coaching institute related to different examination. So it also provides employment opportunity.
Okay, very well. Now you have opted for public administration as your optional. Why you did not go for something that you have already done in your BTech?
Ma'am, there are two reasons for the studies. Administration, as through public administration as a direct application in Indian administration, and second is also like it has a lot of overlapping with the general studies, so it can help me enrich my answers in general studies.
It is said that a bureaucrat in public administration, it is said that a bureaucrat basically provides the flesh to the skeleton that is provided to him or her by the politicians. Can you please elaborate this statement a little?
Ma'am, the bureaucrat is there to provide suggestions to the political executive. They provide all suggestions from different dimensions.
And it is up to the political executive that they take the decision, and based on rules and regulations, and the bureaucrats will become those things.
Okay, very well. Can you pinpoint 3 things that you have learned from public administration as your optional that will be useful
For you to implement good governance in your district if you become an IAS officer?
Ma'am, the first is rationality, which ensures that rules and regulations, better work conditions, and better relationship with the employees.
The second is the theory of motivation. and that is very important in personal administration process. Try to decentralize the job, provide better work conditions, and better relationship with the employees.
And third, ma'am, is related to the decision making. There are very good theories for decision making based on facts, and also considering values as an end project, as an end. So I will try to implement these three things.
Very well. Can you please elaborate on the role of Woodrow Wilson in public administration? What has been the role of Woodrow Wilson in public administration, the evolution of public administration?
Ma'am, public administration has always been part of political science. In 1887, he came out with an essay why the administration need to be separated from the earlier style of
politicians. So he gave the locus to the administration, and then it become a separate discipline.
Okay, just elaborate a little bit on Wilsonian.
Wilsonian principle of great public administration is cause.
When we say that the politics and administration are two different things. The administration has to implement the policies and the politician has to make them.
He said the politicians are amateurish in nature because they are appointed for a short period of time, whereas the administrations are career bureaucrat and they work for a longer period of time. Then he also said one thing, that although European has a authoritarian kind of governance, but things can be learned from them, and that can be implemented in a democracy.
Okay, very well. Now, you have done your electronics and communication.
I am reading in electronics and communication. Can you please tell me the challenges of communication infrastructure in India?
Ma'am, the first is related to the transmission. As it requires the effective transmission of the data. So there are a combination of wireless and wired communication, and the optical fiber is not that much available throughout the country. The second is related to the noise, and there is a lot of loss of signals that happen. And then also there is a receiver part, and we see that there is a lot of digital divide that is happening in our country, and the receiver part, because of erratic connection and the slow speed, are not getting
information.
Despite all these challenges, India still stands as the second largest market of communication information. Right? What are the various schemes and programs that the government has introduced to give a push to the communication infrastructure?
Now, the first is National E-Governance Program to develop infrastructures and also networking. The second is the BharatNet project to connect the different Gram Panchayat, the 2.5 lakh Gram Panchayat. The third is Digital India Mission to ensure digital literacy and to reduce a digital divide.
And then there is also universal service obligation for especially in the Naxal affected area where the mobile towers need to come. Now recently the TRAI has recommended that
the 5G spectrum will be cut down by around 40%. So, and it will be rolled out around August and September.
Okay, very well. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Hello, Ritesh.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you.
As you are a football enthusiast,
Yes.
can you tell me what is the psychological difference between football and cricket?
So, I think it is more about team. The football, even like a single player stayed out, then definitely
He can take more wicket, he can score a lot of run, and single-handedly he can make it happen. But when it comes to the football, it is rarest of the rare kind of thing, because in few occasions only there are individual personality who has signed, and it is
a teamwork that resulted in winning of the match.
Can we observe in both the teams similar team spirit? The player, they are team. If one,
Suppose you are playing cricket, fine, and the very next day you are playing football. Can we observe similar team spirit?
Sir, I have very limited understanding about cricket.
Okay, fine. Can we say that cricket is a colonial game and football is a...
So, yes, we have interest. So, Bhutan started by England. Football was started by England and it became popular in other countries. But for cricket,
it has remained mostly with the country in which the England ruled.
Then why English speaking people do not prefer this game? Mostly Latin speaking people prefer this game.
Sir, it has to do with the evolution of tactics. And like in 1940s and the 50s, the countries like Spain and Portugal
become very prominent team. And then Uruguay was very important team at that point of time. Then what happened, sir, in 1960, Brazil introduced a tactical move of 4-4-2, and because of that,
they dominated the international scenario, and in the Latin countries also it became very popular.
Do you think that in cricket, the one person is hitting the ball and rest are trying to catch the ball? This is a game of lords, and in football, everybody is equally playing. Can we see the colonial spirit?
So in cricket also, everyone is playing as those.
Everyone playing at the same time. Yes. Okay, fine. As you mentioned in your one of your answer, that
youngsters in Northeast and Kerala, they have keen interest in this particular game. Can you mention one youngster of Kerala who is a sensation right now?
Sorry, sir.
He made a record also.
Sir, I'm not able to recall it.
That means you are not reading the news of football. Have you heard the name Jason TK?
Sorry,
recently?
I've not heard it.
As a substitute player, he scored 5 goals. This is first time in the history of Indian football.
Sir, I heard about it.
Okay, let's come out of the domain of this football. You studied BTech electronics.
Yes.
Do you think India largely rely upon the import of electronic products, and how Indian government is trying to implement this Atmanirbhar scheme into this domain?
Yes,
what are those steps?
Yes, sir, we are largely relying on imports of electronics, but again, sir, the government is doing us. We have become the second largest mobile manufacturing, and the schemes that they are using is performance link incentive scheme, and also economic cluster under a national economic policy.
But then the largest mobile manufacturing company is Samsung. How Atmanirbhar Bharat is working?
So still we are assembling the electronic product.
What will be done, as we saw that there are investors who have shown interest in semiconductor market.
As you mentioned about the semiconductor, है ना?
Yes.
So India is on to a semiconductor mission. Recently,
semiconductor mission. Have you read about it? What is the need of semiconductor mission?
So semiconductors are increasingly used in almost all sectors.
In cars, in blockchain, in computer, in IoT or in 5G. So they are increasingly used, and therefore it is important that we have a lead in manufacturing semiconductors.
Okay. So in this mission, there is a production link incentive,
yes, sir.
PLI scheme.
Yes.
They mentioned a DLI scheme.
Yes, so there is a design link incentive scheme.
What is it? Can you explain?
Sir, it is related to the wafers, the semiconductor wafers that will be manufactured.
What is semiconductor fab?
So semiconductor fabrication.
Are different transistors that are brought together to perform different logics.
So how much investment is coming from government of India side in this mission? If you remember,
so things are like
Thank you, Ritesh.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Ritesh.
Yes.
23rd May is your interview.
Yes, sir.
So what it is famous for?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware about it.
Okay, so it's the World Turtle Day.
Sorry, sir.
Turtle Day.
Okay, sir. I will read about it.
So these are the Turtle Day,
Yes, sir. I will read about it.
apart from other things. Now, the Khelo India and promoting sports, what is the arrangement to basically screen the government? Have you understood what are the competitions, how it is organized, how they are being promoted? You read about it. Yes. Recently, there has been a big event in the country from the governance aspect. Any other? So recently there has been a conference of chief justices of the country and chief ministers of the country, which can you find out or can you indicate what were the key highlights so far?
So the Prime Minister said that the court must take use of the local language and all the proceedings can happen in the local language. And so Chief Justice said that it need to improve its infrastructure and before that it proposed the necessary infrastructure and also said that increasing appointment of the judges at the High Court and also adaptation of digital technology.
What external event is changing the world and India?
So the first is scheduling work.
And how it is changing the world as well as
So it has resulted in humanitarian crisis in India.
massive humanity.
Yes,
How is it changing the world and India?
so the first thing is economy.
The economy is getting affected.
Yes, sir.
Apart from that,
Apart from that, we see there is increase in sanction against Russia.
okay, I think we'll close your interview. We'll call you for feedback in the session. Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.